How's it going, guys? It's your boy Mike from Seattle, and I'm back to do another reaction video to financial TikToks. The good, the bad, the ugly, the terrible, the overinflated, the ridiculous, the outright lies, the terrible content that passes as content on the internet. But who am I to judge? Because I myself have a TikTok with 160,000 followers and probably am going to make one for real estate related stuff, so I shouldn't judge too harshly. Anyways, why don't we just jump right into this guy right here?
I'm getting paid like $1,000 a month just to rent this place out. No, you're paying rent. No. I mean, I'm getting paid to rent. It's called Airbnb Arbitrage. Huh? But basically, I find a rental that's in a great area of town, right? And then before I sign a lease, I ask my landlord if they're okay with me subletting the apartment for Airbnb. And then what? Then I furnish it, make sure it looks good, list it on Airbnb, right, for like $150 a night. It's booked for about 20 days a month. That means I make $3,000 a month from it. I subtract my rent, my cleaning costs, and some other fees, and I'm literally getting paid to rent. Wait a minute. I could do this for multiple rentals and make a killing. Yeah. Let me guess, you learned this from following Josh.
Okay, alright, well, a couple things right off the bat. First of all, I don't do rental arbitrage, or as he calls it, Airbnb arbitrage. I'm about 99% sure that if you held a gun to my head right now and said, spell arbitrage or you die, it would be lights out for me. That's it. I'm phoning it in. That being said, he is talking about a perfectly legitimate form of investing in real estate. However, the problem that I have with a lot of these TikTok influencers, advice guys, number one, do they actually do what they are teaching you about? Is he himself actually doing this and making a killing off of it, renting out apartments and then subletting them for Airbnb? Because if he is, I would love to know. Here's another problem. All of this content is found and reposted and reposted and reposted. So me trying to find the original guy, even though he's like, hey, just follow Josh. Yeah, dude, if you type Josh into TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, I got bad news for you, bruh. There's like at least 17 different Joshes, maybe more, and it's tough for me to figure out which one you are, okay? That's why you gotta have a little bit more of a catchy name, something like Millennial Mike. Yeah, okay, a little shameless plug. Anyways, okay, so rental arbitrage, totally legitimate. However, does he actually do rental arbitrage, or is he falling prey to the fallacy of all of these TikTok financial gurus, where they give tons of different financial advice on how to invest in stocks and crypto and real estate, and you're like, wow, for a guy who's only like, or girl, 23 years old, how in the heck have you managed to just become an expert on all of these different investment strategies, and clearly you're just making a killing off of it because you give such great advice? How in the world did this happen? And so obviously I'm being a little bit facetious here, but most likely he probably doesn't actually do rental arbitrage. He's probably just one of these folks who wants to make videos and wants to be popular for making videos. And so he's making videos on rental arbitrage because he's a super young dude. I mean, if he's killing it with rental arbitrage, I probably would have heard of him by now, like Cody Davis. When you're very young and successful, you get big quick and people take notice. So, not saying he isn't doing it, but, is he? I don't know. It's hard to go find it out and verify for myself. And I would rather take advice from someone about a subject that they're actually doing and know, instead of somebody just recycling and repurposing someone else's content for you to watch. That's my opinion personally. Second of all, he makes it sound much easier than it is. You realize that the large majority of landlords have in their lease specific clauses that say you cannot sublet this property, you cannot rent it and then re-rent it. I don't want you renting to 20 different people 20 nights a month and having all of those repairs and everything. And sure, I get it, you're going to try to take care of it, but no, I'm not interested. I want one long-term tenant in here. Now, that's not to say that there aren't landlords out there who will let you sublet it. There are, but it's not quite as easy as he's making it sound. So that's my 2 cents here. Perfectly legitimate system he's talking about. Is he actually an expert on it? Maybe. And then, it's not really quite as easy as he talks about, but that's a constraint of TikTok. You got 1 minute to get your point across, so talk quickly and don't get into the details. That's a recipe for success. Why don't we watch another one?
Hi, I'm trying to buy this property you live in and I'm looking for a loan. I see. Unfortunately, based on your paperwork, it looks like you don't earn enough to qualify for the loan. I'm sorry, but you're denied. I get it. I normally wouldn't qualify for a large loan like this by myself. But this property is actually a fourplex. A fourplex? How does that change anything? Well, since this is a fourplex, if I lived in one unit, I could use 75% of the rental income from the other 3 units to help me qualify for the loan. On top of that, the income that the 3 tenants pay me will cover the entire mortgage payment, so I can live in the property for free. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, you're approved. Where'd you learn all this? I heard it from Sean. He makes real estate easy. And that's why I followed him.
And there you go, another with the ending. Follow Sean. Now, all of these financial guys, they all have the same spiel, and I hate to be picky about it. I hate to be like that because it seems a little bit like I'm just jealous. And maybe it caught me. I'm jealous. I'm bitter. They're so much more successful than me online, and here I am just trying to be comical and failing miserably. But just to me, they seem so cheesy. Anyways, the information he's giving. Okay, first of all, yeah, he's kind of right, but he's also kind of wrong. First of all, I really enjoy the whole spiel of, yeah, man, hey, I'm here to get a loan from your bank. Oh, really? You're here to get a loan from our bank? Yeah, but why don't you take a seat, buddy? Because I'm about to school you on how loans actually work. I know you've probably been doing this for longer than I've been alive, but why don't you just sit down and let me, Generation Z or young millennial, coach you up on how to do this loan right here. Let me tell you about fourplexes. Well, I really appreciate you being so forthright and upcoming. Allow me to just sit down and learn from you. I mean, come on, it's a conversation that would never actually happen. Now, that being said, have I ever had a conversation with a lender where they were mistaken on something? Hey, how long do I have to let a property season before I can do a cash out refinance after I purchase the property with all cash? Oh, yeah, I think it's 6 months. I thought it was supposed to be 6 months. You're saying maybe it's a year, and then we get back. Things like that happen. But bankers and lenders, if they don't know something as basic as how an owner-occupied financing works on a multifamily property, then you probably should use a different lender because that person sounds extremely uneducated. Or it's their first day. Second of all, yeah, he's right. You can use the 75% of the potential income to qualify you for a property. However, you can't do that with your first property. You have to have a W-2 statement, or excuse me, a tax return that shows you claimed rental income on a tax year and have built a pattern of success as a landlord before you can then use future projected income from rents to qualify for a property. So your first property, you're going to have to figure out how to buy and qualify all on your lonesome. Property 2, 3, and 4, and so on after that, yes, at that point you can use that projected income to help you out. So he is right about that, but not really on the first one. But again, maybe that's the constraint of the difficulty of TikTok. You got 35 seconds to 60 seconds to get your point across here. So forget about the important details like how you would actually make this happen and instead create a catchy piece of information that I can put in front of you so that you feel like you actually learned something, when in reality it requires a much deeper conversation. Anyways, hey, follow Sean by clicking the plus sign. No hate to Sean. I'm sure he's a great guy. All right, let's watch the third and final one. You're going to like this one. This one's hilarious. Okay. All right, one more time. I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read it for those people who maybe aren't watching. Let's read it. So, here is a man, if you're listening and not watching, here's a man sitting in his bathtub with the shower raining down on him, fully clothed, clutching his Dave Ramsey book. And it says, when you've been saving for 20% down for 6 years, but now that $270,000 house is selling for $710,000. Oh, isn't that just like Dave Ramsey to a T? Yes, man. Hey, all debt is bad debt, except if it's a mortgage. So God said don't have debt, but he did make an exception in the Bible apparently for mortgages. I don't remember that verse. Must have been in a different version. I got King James behind me. Whatever. We won't get into that with Dave. Anyways, you're allowed to have a mortgage, but you got to put at least 20% down and have a 15-year mortgage. A 30-year mortgage, that's a sin. 15-year mortgage is only 20% down. But here's the problem, Dr. Dave. Well, is this guy just conveniently illustrates, this guy was hilarious, by the way, conveniently illustrates, dude, to save up 20% on a $270,000 house, that right there is like $54,000. Okay, well, guess what? It takes a long time for the average person to save $54,000. And in the 4, 5, 6, 7 years you might have been trying to save that, that house is now ballooned up to $710,000, and your $54,000 doesn't buy you anything. And this is why loans for first-time home buyer, owner-occupied people that allow you to get in with a 3.5% down exist, because they help the average person take advantage of it. Are you going to pay property or mortgage insurance? Yes, you're going to pay $150 a month in mortgage insurance. It sucks, but it's easier to pay that $150 in mortgage insurance now. If appreciation happens, which most likely it will, if appreciation happens, you will be able to refinance out of that loan and drop the mortgage insurance. That's one option. Or you know what? You might just pay it forever. It sucks, but it's better than what this funny guy illustrates, which there I was, diligently saving my 20% down. And now that home prices have quadrupled in value, I'm going to go cry in a bathtub, clutch my Dave Ramsey book, and let the water run over my face. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, leave a comment down below, but make sure you absolutely do not subscribe to me. I don't want your sympathy likes. We'll catch you next time.